The other guy says when he was kashachid, that was what he was shechting. Amalei Abaye says Abaye. Nay, the idchila mi Pesach. Who remembers what on that list? Nay means granted. Nay, the idchila mi Pesach, that it would get pushed away from the Pesach mi demei Pesach. Very interesting. Money and blood are the same words in the Gemara. Damim in the Gemara's parlance means money. It's an interesting years. Everything that maritime law, you go to the banks, cash flow. That's another one.
Money to hold for me, and you get to earn the interest. You get to float.
The birth and what the water breaks, and it goes to the dock, and then you sign a birth certificate, which is a certificate of manifest.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
You finished?
Oh, I was gonna say that, like, when if you ever go to court, America, you say, I don't recognize that name. Oh, that dealings with them. What were you gonna say?
I just remembered Rebbe Nachman brings a comparison between Damim and Dam. He says that
Blood?
Yeah, he says that the main purpose of the tzaddik of the generation is that everyone should that he would bring everyone that there's anger in the world that are as long as there are other nations other than Israel that there's anger in the world, and that's why money is called dam, because it causes blood to be shed through money.
Interesting. Interesting. So Dam, the first of the plagues, also. So we have Damin, and we don't think of it in those terms, but blood also flows.
Is it? It means
Silver. What?
It also means yearning.
Yeah, kiza kama nichsof nichsafti.
So not always
Wow.
a good negative connotation.
I'm not saying any kind.
Good point. Cash flow and blood are both.
Yeah, cash flow, and also like, right? So we just got to think about that. But anyways, here, Pesach, Demei Pesach, we also were talking Adama. Okay, a lot of that to do with the words. Mi idchi, from the Demei Pesach. V'chit ema bay ha'amada v'haracha. And if you're going to say to know how much it costs for haracha, which is also kind of to the harich, to the harich, how much is echen. So haracha. V'hatanan, doesn't it say in a Mishnah? Well, this Mishnah is 117b in this very Masechet, and it says that who remembers what Mefarcheses is? The death
Draws.
dingo dance. So even if you cut both of the simanim, and it's still all of its things. Now we've spoken about this before. That this was a machlokas Yosef and to actually look it up and to talk about that mifarcheses. It is not in this Masechta in the first place, but it's like a chaya b'chol devareha. Maybe we'll see it today. What the law is about the mifarcheses. Pirkus is like shaking. It's an interesting word because it's a word that has 4 letters in the shoresh. Most words in Hebrew have 3 letters in the root, but pirkas is one of the four letters. I don't know. I don't know. It's just a word. I don't know if like from an external source. Also with the tet.
Yeah.
If you're a samech or a tet, those are like not usually like Hebrew words. Not all the time. Tuma is a tet in Hebrew. Shalom Aleichem. Modin Simcha.
So what does that mean now, Aramaic? Like anything?
We don't know. If we're going back to where we started today. Maziv Rav Idi Bar Avin. Rav Idi Bar Avin serves up a nice Lishmo Pater. So what is it talking about? It's talking about B'shochet Pesach. When you're shechting the Bezach Shchat, it's parakim. L'shar Zvachim, Sheshochtim B'Pesach, guy, in your possession on the holiday of Pesach. Well, what about, I'll come with the Shlamim. I'll come with the Chatas. Bring a different korban. Shaloka Allah, Mishum Lo Tishra Ala Chametz. It says don't shecht on the Chametz. The Kamer Rabbi Shimon, and Rabbi Shimon says Shashochet Pesach B'Soch HaMoed. Let's talk about Chol HaMoed in general. Twix far from him in jail or something. Sorry, bro, those days are over.
The priest knows good, Sloan.
Talk about Moshe Baruch over here. So Kagon Avad Lo Arba Azar with an amazing bavorn. He's coming. He's answering a question we didn't even think to ask ourselves. Rashi answers it. Play the answer first. For example, Korban Pesach. Pesach takes the loss of a few $1,000 probably. But it says, what are you going to do? It's Korban Pesach. What are you going to do? Not bring Korban Pesach. So he brings another one. Pesach and the base measures learning outside. What? You guys see right over there? That's the Korban that escaped. You see? What?
KP.
The KP. It's the KP caper over here. The oldest one in the book, the KP caper. And it's gone, right? To take another one, and it's found. Unbelievable. What a Chol Hamoed Pesach miracle. And so he finds the KP. The Nimtza Rishon B'Moed, he finds it in Chol Hamoed, V'shachtu V'shmo. Right? So this guy was so happy. He's like, Boita! Don't you know it's Chol Hamoed? Who cares? We found the Korban, we're going. Come on. And she's like, I'm not coming, I don't need you. And he goes and he brings the Korban Pesach. And she's like, all right, I'll come. That's what Bertha says. Bertha's like, I gotta protect him, So they go together and it's Chol Moed. And they go and they're like, great, we have our Korban Pesach. And they bring it Lishma on the Chametz. What do you mean on the Chametz? What, did he acquire some Chametz in the interim? Or did the first Korban Pesach he also do while owning Chametz? So he's pater as a Pesach al Chametz dam zivchi. Don't shecht Korban Pesach while you still have Chametz in your shus. So this guy on 8 Mile Road and got his Pesach. He was so excited. He says, "I'll take one."
How are you?
Yeah,
Sorry to interrupt you. Great. Hello.
Students, we were drawing. Do you do cartoons?
Yes, great stuff.
We gotta make another episode.
Got another one.
I'll show you guys the first one. Yo, it's great to see you guys. We gotta learn one thing.
Some-
Coming to a base measures, you gotta learn one thing. An animal that you shechted, even if you cut both the trachea, still considered alive.
Wow,
So, we're learning shrita. We're learning about the death shakes.
amazing.
And we're learning about the different. Let me show.
They would have stayed if we had food, right?
The look in davening is eros, and therefore if you do all the right? I just stopped. What do you think about the lathe?
For some people, like
שיעור בעזרת השם, אבל אומר הרמב"ם